Good morning, traders. A quick video today, and I haven't done many in the past, and the original intent of the channel was to do weekly videos, but I think time has spent trading and doing other things have meant that I wasn't able to do anything, so this channel was fairly dead, so I'm not really sure how many people would listen to that. But anyway, the idea would be to make this a bit more interesting, and again, the original idea was to bring original content, and by original I mean something slightly different from just calling levels and predictions and so on, but more to have some thought-provoking view and help one to ask oneself the right questions, or different questions at least. Now, this quick video, and I'm really intending to keep it under 15 minutes, this quick video really is I'm looking at a market profile versus a volume profile chart here. As you can see, it says daily, every day. This is today, so on the left obviously we have the market profile, so we've got letters for each 30 minutes, and the volume profile, how much volume horizontally was transacted at each price level, and here's vertically each half hour, how did we evolve throughout the time versus price levels. So here we're looking at time, here we're looking at volume. This is not a course on volume profile, TPO and so on. This is just to explain what we're looking at here. Looking at here at charts, we're looking at 6E, which is the euro-dollar futures contract. And my quick video here was to say I'm a retail trader, and by retail I mean, I'm not, I don't have several millions to trade, and in that sense I'm not a professional. I don't invest anyone's money, I don't manage anyone's money but mine. So from that perspective I am certainly a retail trader, and I imagine a lot of, and I do train people actually, and a good number of people, and people always say, first of all they need to have the right training, they need to understand what the market is doing, who's actually involved in the market, who are the traders against us, there's a lot of confusion about things, I find, and effectively a lot of courses, there are some good courses, but some courses also try to make it very smoke and mirror, and some things which happen very quickly and very easily. And it doesn't happen very quickly or very easily. It is work, it's hard work, involves efforts and a lot of times and hours and understanding and so on. So there's no, the quick miracles don't happen here. There's no miracle indicators, green light, red lights. All of this is effectively doesn't work. So the best way to work is to understand the market, get trained properly, get educated properly, and run your own analysis and run your own scenarios. So what I tend to do every day when I come in, I've got obviously an overview of I have only big, but I've got only two screens, and on my two screens I have a setup, as it is the case here, and I'm looking at various various elements and various things in here, and really the idea is to have a view, daily view, weekly view, monthly view. That's what you're looking at here. This is 30 minutes each day. I'm looking at various things. I'm not going to get in footprints, 5 range in 30 minutes. And anyway, the point is not really to describe what's on my screen or to worry about it too much. The idea, and on the other screen I have all the DOMs, and it's pretty much all I have. Now, what this is showing me effectively, I'm trying to every morning get a view and get a understanding of what the market might be doing today. At the beginning of the day, obviously we would only see a few of these bars here and not all of that, and you can see, without doing an in-depth analysis, not the point of the thing here, but you can see it open here, it closed here last Friday, opened all the way here, somewhere around here anyway. So there was an opening gap, and it went back up to these low volume nodes here, above value. It was rejected above Friday's last value, rejected back in. Now within last week's value still, because today's value is, or value area is within last week's value area. more or less. It's certainly within it. You can see we've got a big buying tail here, we've got a tiny sort of ledge, ugly, tiny selling tail here, and it wasn't, you know, basically fairly ugly profile here. Anyway, so I tend to project a number of things in the past, or from the past into the future. All this yellow area that you see here is effectively the last time you're looking at single prints, TPOs, value areas, low volume nodes, high volume nodes. You're looking at a number of things which have been projected forward. The last time we were in that sort of, you know, range and price area. If you follow the euro dollar, you'll see that, and you'll know that the euro dollar has been at its lowest since April 2017 and even March 2017. So it has been quite a while. We've been way below that as well. You can see there's still some blue, you know, below here, and I've got a number of areas we could, you know, potentially go back all the way, as you can see, to 6 and 105 and so on, and you know, and further down, for sure. As well as you know, the fact we could go back up and you could retrace. It could certainly become bullish, and we could. There's a lot of you know, business to be had on the upside as well. And my guess is that it will eventually go back up, and it could well go back, carry on going down now and retrace, or keep going down, or go up and then go back down, or then go down and go back up. I mean, obviously we don't know who's in the market now, why, how. They've got all very different agendas, very different time frame they're looking at, very different reasons for being in the market, very different reasons for selling their euro dollar futures contract. We don't know, and we don't need to know, and it would be impossible to know. So what we're left with is to look at the traces, if you like, and the tracks that were left behind, project those tracks forward. That gives us a plan and a setup, or at least potential plans and setup. And every morning when I come in front of the screens, I try to say, hey, are we likely to go up or down, or accumulate and consolidate? Are you going sideways and not, you know, not have much direction? So in that case, here it's as I said, these are fairly sort of key times in the sense that it's reached a low it hadn't reached since, you know, for 3 years more or less, and you know, one could speculate on, yes, it's going to go up or it's going to go down. And in fact, as a retail trader, I was looking this morning, I'm looking at a number of news and economic release and prediction and level and key levels which are being given by all kind of different websites and specialists and whatever. And these guys like to use technical analysis, which I don't at all, and what they use is fairly relevant in a way. But the point here is, I think it's very, I find it to be very, so you're looking at levels, you're being called levels, and people give their opinions, and it's confusing. You get many different, sometimes opposed views and levels, and bullish, or no, it's bearish, and it's bullish, because, and everybody seems fairly convincing when you read the analysis. Which I'm assuming as a retail could very easily push one to make decisions based on those calls, and potentially, obviously, the more decisions you make, the more mistakes you're bound to make, which in itself is not an issue, but it's more, rather than trying to follow somebody else's advice, however professional it looks, however impressive this might look, why not run your own analysis yourself? This is exactly what I've done here. Projected, drawn some areas, projected them in the future, and now today you can see what my potential moves could well be. So my potential move, I've got two options here. We could go, obviously, consolidate, go sideways, and it's pretty much what it's done here. We've got a buying tail, we've got a selling tail. When we get to the top, we're selling. When we go to the bottom, we're buying, and it's simple. And obviously, there's a, you know, sort of low volume node here, so we can spend time doing this. We could have a perfect bell shape, you know, sort of profile, today is President's Day in the US, so the US won't be trading, I don't think, at least not very heavily. So it's a short day as well. I suspect there won't be that much momentum this afternoon, so it could be very quiet and very sideways and that's all that could well happen. That's a plausible scenario. So scenario A is consolidation going sideways, accumulation, or lack of much going on, if you want to call it like that. Second option obviously is we could go back down. We could go back down and go all the way down to the low of the previous session, which was on Friday. We've got this big buying tail here, and we could easily say, hey, we could go back down to 108, 45, 46, whatever, it doesn't matter, it's not down to the point, but you could imagine that this is not a completely insane possibility. In fact, if you look at my DOM here, I'm going to trade here, and I've got something quick here. I'm just one contract. I'm looking at the 6E micro, so just testing if his strats here. But the point being, we're sort of exactly here. This one, this 46, 846, and you can see I'm not the only one on it, except I was earlier in the queue. Anyway, the point being here that that's one scenario. We could go down, we could go further down. And I'm not going to go through all the reasons why, but obviously this is the projection, low volume nodes combined. I've got, I think, several days combined all together here as well. Single prints, buying tails of one day, selling tail of the other one, and so on. And I've got this sort of area. And to me, this is, if we go down, that would be a first step here. Second step could be all the way down here to this TPO value area high. And, this sort of low volume node, which is this whole yellow thing. So going all the way to 108.34.5 could be, likely if we got to that stage. But if there was enough momentum, will there be enough momentum today? We don't know, and etc. etc. But if it's not today, it could be tomorrow, and Inversely, we could go back up. So again, I don't actually believe there is enough momentum today to do much, but for the sake of the argument, go back up. We've got a ledge here, low volume node, go above ledge. Another one here is not very happy with a very beautiful profile. Here's like effectively sort of poor high, although there is a selling tail here in terms of on the TPO side. But I mean, we could easily go here. We've got another low volume node here, high value area. Yeah, if possible, go all the way back to 0890. And if you want to push it, I mean, again, I doubt there is the right momentum today, but we could go back all the way to 109. 08 or 010 while we're up there. So here I'm basically building scenarios. The levels are built on real past transactions and volume, and not speculations or crossover of moving averages or anything like that. And I would strongly encourage, and I'm going to stop the video here, but I would strongly encourage for you to take a look into that and do yourself and create yourself your own scenarios. And your scenario A would be, if we go down, here and here and here and here, and this is why. And if we go up, we could go here and here and there. This is why. If you go sideways, because no enough momentum. I mean, it's all analysis that you'd run yourself easily without really having to rely on people calling levels and different levels from different people from different firms, and having to take it for granted and say, hey, that's the way it is because they're experts. Because if anyone was an expert, they wouldn't spend their time calling levels. They would be trading themselves, and it would be using that themselves and putting into effect what they preach. I'm just going to leave you here with that. I just wanted to do this quick thing and say, hey, try to avoid falling in the trap of believing or relying on external analysis. Do your own run, your own analysis. It's not difficult. You just need to understand the market. You will feel that, you will feel rewarded at the end of it, and you will have your own, obviously, analysis, and you'll understand you have some reasoning behind it. It's just not, levels to be called. So I wish you a good day. I wish you a good training. If you're not training today, tomorrow, and I'll see you again in a different video. Thanks.